All right. Good morning, everyone. Thanks for coming to class. Don't get too comfortable because we're going to start standing, which we don't normally do, but we're going to today. Have your blocks where you can reach them. And in your best way, just find mountain pose. I wanted to read something. Most of you who take my classes know I love Donna Faulds. This is one of her poems from Go In and In, which is the first book that I purchased of hers. So find mountain pose, but let it be soft. Let the back of the knees be soft. Maybe your feet are parallel, or maybe they're turned out just a little bit. I want you to really start to tap into grounding your body to the earth or whatever it is you're standing on, and then feeling yourself lift up from there. If you're super comfortable, close your eyes. For some of you, that'll throw your balance off, so keep them open. And this is one of her poems called Yoga. Very appropriate. It says, yoga is not about the pose. It's not the alignment of the toes or hips or shoulders. It's not about the form. Yoga is an invitation to explore, not a command performance. It speaks the language of the soul. In the flow of breath and motion, yoga coaxes us from the confines of the known across the silent threshold into vastness. Yoga is the union of prayer and movement guided from inside. It is healing and the joy of saying yes to life. Breathe, relax, and feel the body receive its own truth. The seed of freedom flowers within each of us whenever we are open to what's real. It's one of my favorites. All right, so with that, in mountain pose, just start to, and you know I'm an alignment junkie, so even with that poem, right, we want good alignment. So maybe feel the shoulders draw back just a little bit, and in particular, the head draw back just a little bit so that the ears roughly line up with the shoulders and the tips of the shoulders line up with the hips, and the hips line up with the outer ankles. And if the eyes are open or closed, imagine this beautiful plumb line going from the center of the head, the crown of the head, through the center of the throat, the center of the body, through the perineum, down to the middle of your feet. And maybe take a moment to acknowledge the miracle of this body, of the muscles, the joints, the senses, the breath, our ability to move, to receive, to become aware. Just notice it. And if your eyes are closed, or even if they're open, you might feel yourself kind of swaying a little bit. And if you do, that's great. If you don't worry about it. Maybe you feel yourself just moving to the different corners of your feet. And then if your eyes are closed, go ahead and open them and purposefully start to sway, maybe a little tiny circle. And if you could tap down to the feeling in your feet, right? Outer edges, back heel, inner edges, toes, whichever direction you're going, keep the knees soft. Next time you're leaning toward the left, just pause. And notice again what happens when we try to find balance, right? We're off balance now. I am mirroring in case you're wondering why I'm leaning the opposite direction. Just notice, right? The outer foot is heavy, the inner foot is light, the right foot for you all could be lifted, it's so soft. And then circle around the back and go to the other side and just feel that. And where the foot comes up energetically or muscularly to the knee, to the hip, to the shoulder. I was just marveling at how amazing the body is. And then lean to the front toes. Now, this one a little bit harder, right? The heels got light. The whole body starts to move forward because you have to balance from falling over. Notice, right? I just noticed my head came forward. Maybe I'll draw the head back and see what happens. Keep the toes weighted, but now bend the knees. And notice how the balance got a little bit better. And then shift the whole torso back to the center of the feet and feel that. And then maybe look at the feet, maybe parallel them. Let's find mountain pose, true mountain pose. The back of the knees are not hyperextending. The legs can be straight. Take the shoulders up to your ears, roll them back, squeeze them back, and then let them come back down into the grooves. Feel the crown of the head lifting and the feet going deeper. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hold the arms up, draw the shoulders down. Feel as if you have a beach ball. I say this reference a lot, between the hands, and squeeze the beach ball. Feel the upper body. Notice if you locked your knees, keep them soft. Find your breath, squeeze the beach ball, everybody. Turn the palms forward, flex the hands as if you could put your hands on the ceiling. Breathe. Reach the arms, but don't overreach. Don't squeeze the ears, but just reach the arms. And then slowly let the hands drift down until they're at the level of the shoulders. Ooh. Yeah, feel the big stretch in the hands. Breathe. Now just turn the hands out. What does that feel like? And if you could trace the wrist to the elbow to the shoulder and to the back, upper back body, what does this feel like? And then turn them about a quarter of the way, halfway back. What does that feel like? This is all on purpose. Turn them back up. What does that feel like? Draw the shoulder blades back. Turn them in. What does that feel like? If you can tap in, if you can't, don't worry about it. This will all get clearer in a moment. And then turn them up and let them go. Whew. And shake those out. Good. And just circle one arm. Keep the back of the knee soft. Breathe. It's a big circle. Your range of motion. Good. Circle the other. Said a question about downward facing dog. You know who you are because you're in class today. And how we get to that place. Good. Shake that all out. Where the arms feel good carrying the weight of the body. And so as we take those arms up, reach up, turn the palms to the ceiling, bring them down. Imagine those hands are on the floor now. Draw the shoulders back a little bit so there's a little groove by the shoulder blades. And then for your body, right? Turn them out a little bit. How does that feel in your body? Keeping the shoulder blades back a little bit. How does it feel if you turn them all the way out? Everybody's different. How do they feel if you turn them in? Where is it, right? So in down dog, if your arms are okay, look at your hands. Most teachers, most guidance says the index fingers are pointing straight up. Ooh. Some say the middle fingers are pointed straight up. How does that feel in your body? I know the wrist, you might be feeling your wrists, and shake it out, let it go. Whew. Good. Breathe, everybody. Right. So all different. This whole complex really works, right? It goes in, it goes out. What is the best for you? Think of plank pose. Press the arms out in front of you. Plank pose, the arms are shoulder level. The wrists are as wide as your shoulders, slightly wider, right? How does that feel? If I slightly internally rotate, what does that do? Soften the knees. Breathe, whew, and let that go. Good. Shake that all out, right? Our wrists are hurting. We haven't even put weight on them yet. Good. Take one hand out, curl your fists, and drop the knuckles. Ooh. Maybe take the hand and stretch the back of the wrist. Breathe and shake that out. Same thing. Curl your fist, drop the knuckles, and maybe reach. Ooh. Stretch that out. And shake that out. Maybe widen the feet a little bit. Breath of joy, right? Let's get these bodies flowing. So breath of joy is like watching a conductor. It's inhale, 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 exhale. All right, here we go. Inhale. Exhale down. Inhale up. Make sure you're bending your knees on the exhale so that you don't stress out the back. Breathe. Inhale, inhale, and down. Good. Two more. Last one. Stay down. And let the arms swing. Just let them swing. Nice bend of the knees, everybody. And slowly let those hands come to the floor or to your blocks. Walk the feet back just a little bit so ankles and hips are lined up, the low belly tones. Breathe, let the head drop, soften the elbows. Now, your blocks can be low, medium, or high, whatever works best for you. Circle around those feet again. So feel the weight at the front, side, back, outside, inside. Just circle around them. Keep the knees super soft. Circle the other way. Find your breath. And then come to stillness in your forward fold. Everything's soft now. There is a good tone to the belly. We are bending from the hips, not the waist. The torso is long. And feel what this feels like in your body. Where are you in your feet? Are you way up at the toes? Are you back at the heels? Can you find the middle line of the feet? Good. One more deep breath here. Lengthening your spine, finding your breath. Bend the knees, everybody. I want you to look up. Take one hand to each knee. Come all the way up to standing. Squeeze your hips and glutes and let go. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, halfway down, halfway. Breathe. Take the hands to the shins. Draw the shoulders back. Tone through the belly. I'll turn sideways. I don't know if you remember, we did a long class on almost a cow pose, right? Chest is lifted, tailbone is lifted, but a cat belly. So the belly draws in, even though the chest is lengthening, even though the sit bones are lengthening, the belly tones in so we don't deep dive. Good. Breathe. I want you to press into your shins and then press your shins back. Draw the shoulders back and feel a little crease between the shoulder blades. Soften the knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, float halfway or all the way down. Blocks, no blocks, your choice. Maybe sway side to side, starting to get more warm. Check your feet, hips width apart. Bend the knees, everybody. One hand to each knee. Look up. Stand up all the way. This time, chair pose. Maybe reach the arms out, maybe not. Watch this, right? If you tend to sink here, draw in more here. What does this feel like in your body? Is it ready for it this morning? Do you need to come up higher? Do you want to come down lower? Where is it for you? Good. Release. Inhale. Exhale. Chair number 2. Maybe the hands stay here. Maybe they reach up. For some of you, it feels better to reach them forward and pull the shoulders back. Breathe. Imagine stretching the mat between your feet. Press the feet out isometrically. Release. Come on up. One more. Exhale. Arms up, arms to heart, arms forward. breathe. Good, listen up. You're going to take that squat a little deeper, but then draw the shoulders straight back. Hands back, shoulders back, squeezing the shoulder blades. Good, arms forward, stand all the way up. Exhale, let go. Well done, shake all that out. You're going to take those blocks to the front of your mat and take them up nice and high. Take the hands to your blocks, walk the feet back just a little bit. Find that idea of the cat belly where you're drawing the belly in, but yet sit bones lift, chest lifts. And I want you to think about down dog for a second. Right, I'm here wiggling on my feet, finding the ball mounds, right, really stretching out. Walk the blocks forward. Think down dog. Now, I have my blocks up high. We know how tippy they can be. The palms are resting on them, but I'm not relying on them, okay? So don't get real heavy there. And drop the head toward the arms. Breathe. And notice how this feels. Now, turn those hands out a little bit. Again, be mindful you're on these tippy blocks. So now my thumbs are pointing forward. I'm checking out how that feels in my shoulders. I don't love it. Maybe bend the knees a little bit. And then I'm going to take my index fingers forward. Checking that out. Draw the shoulders back just a little. Maybe I'll take the index fingers forward. It's approximate. Don't worry if it isn't quite straight. And then try to turn the hands in. What's that feel like in the shoulders, in the neck, in the shoulder blades? Good. Release. Take your hands to your shins. Look up. Bend your knees. Take it all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Shake that out. Come back to those blocks and choose one that you think feels pretty good to you. Which direction? Index finger forward, middle finger forward, hands turn more out, turn more in. Whichever one works. Now, press straight down into your blocks. Draw the inner elbows toward each other. Sink a little bit through the shoulder blades, not a lot, right? You don't want to scrunch, but just a little, but keep the back body wide. Think down dog. What does this feel like? Can I hold on to that beach ball between my elbows? Can the upper shoulders, the latissimus dorsi, right? These big wide back muscles, the outer shoulders, deltoids, can they support this? And then walk the feet back, one footprint, just one footprint. Drop the head, shoulders toward the arms. And then take your blocks and tip them away from you. Just tip them away. What did you lose? What did you gain? Right now, our torso, keep the knees soft, by the way, really soft. Find the length in your whole torso. Ears are between the arms. We're stretching this upper body. Whoo. Untip your blocks. Bend the knees. Take your hands to your knees. Look up and stand up. Woo. And let all that blood get back where it belonged. All right. Go ahead and take your blocks a bit lower. We're going to do a little bit of flow here just to get ourselves warmed up a little bit more. The rest of the body, the upper body feels pretty warm. Find mountain pose. Shoulders draw back, chest is lifted, tailbone drops. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Hands can come to blocks or to the floor. It's up to you. Soften the knees, step back, right leg. Bring the blocks back so that your wrists and shoulders are lined up. Just a nice lunge. If you want to, you can drop your knee. Fire up the back leg, lengthen your torso. Walk both blocks forward. Yeah, super long torso here. But then notice, left leg is forward. Is the left hip rolling forward? Can we draw the left hip back so both sides of your torso are the same, roughly the same length? Walk the blocks back. Breathe. Either knee up or knee down. Hands come to knee. Lift your chest. Fire up the back leg. Inhale the arms up and breathe. Turn the palms face up. Engage the arms. Feel the back working. Release all the way down. Push off. Step forward. Bend both knees. Take it up, everybody. Exhale right to your heart. Notice how that upper body's starting to feel. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down to the blocks. Soften the knees. Step back, left leg. Long left leg. Your front knee, front ankle pretty much lined up. Get real long through your torso. Walk the blocks forward. Torso got longer. Maybe that right hip reaches back just a little bit more. It's almost as if you could launch, right? It's that idea of getting so long here. Breathe. Walk the blocks back. Either you're here or your hands come to your knee, the torso gets tall. If your front psoas is tight, your torso is going to want to be here. So just bend the back knee if you need to. Inhale, take the arms up. Breathe. How does this pose feel in your body? Can you find that flow of energy from the back foot to the back hip, all the way up to the fingers? Exhale, hands down. Push off, step forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, take it up. Exhale to your heart. Take it down, shake it out. All right, so far so good? All right, take it up. Inhale. Exhale all the way down. Blocks or no blocks, step back right leg. 1, you're here. 2, take the torso up. Find your breath. Take your hands to your heart. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to tap the knee and lift it back up. Just 2 more like that. Tap it down. Lift it up. Where are you moving from? Down, up. Good job, everybody. Take it up. Exhale, hands all the way to the floor. Just set your blocks aside. Downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Lower down to your knees just for a moment. Look at your hands. How does that feel in your shoulders? If you turn your hands all the way out, what does that feel like? Start to move them until you go, hey, that feels kind of good there. Where is it for you? Spread the mat out between those hands, widen the back, tone in through the belly, toes flip under, lift to downward facing dog. Reassess your shoulders, your torso, bend the knees a whole bunch here, a whole bunch. Reach out from those hands, arms, but engage the upper back. Find your breath. Maybe straighten one leg. Switch and straighten the other. Roughly straighten both. Watch the back of the knees. You know who you are. Look at your hands. Step forward, right leg. Woo. Hands to knee. Take it up. Doesn't take a whole lot of flow, does it? Arms up. Find your breath. Hands to heart. 1, you're here. 2, you're going to slow tap. 1, 2, 3. Inhale it up, everybody. Exhale, hands down. Push off, step forward. Bend both knees. Inhale all the way up. Find mountain pose. And breathe. And again, notice, right? Just notice what happened in the last 5 or 10 minutes to your individual body. Good. Inhale, take it up. Hands to heart. Come on down. Chair pose. You can go low. You can go medium. You can go high. Is that like the 3 bears? I'm not sure. And breathe. Release the hands. Take them behind you. Press those hands down and back. Watch the knees. Are they curling in toward each other? And then as the torso comes forward, the legs straighten. The arms go up. The front of those shoulders, draw them back. Draw them away from the floor. Keep the knees soft, everybody. Bend the knees, slow. Lift head, neck, chest. Take the arms up. Woo! And stand up. Exhale, shake that out. Woo, I know. All right, step sideways, long ways on your mat. Take your blocks. So this idea of the length of your torso, right? From armpit to hip. Nice deep hinge of your hips. Hands come to your blocks. Look at your feet. Press the mat. Stretch the mat between both feet. Maybe have the feet parallel. So they're both, all the toes are pointing straight ahead. And then walk your blocks forward. Don't overreach. Once your blocks are forward and your hands are on your blocks, isometrically try to pull the blocks back. What do you feel in your upper back, right? Those rhomboids start to engage, the trapezius. Breathe. Keep the back of the knees soft. Let the head start to come between the arms, right? The ears between the arms, downward facing dog. Pressing in, upper body, downward facing dog. Press your hands into your blocks. Notice what engages in the upper back. Right, so in down dog, we want both the upper body super active, but we also want the legs active. How do we get there? Press into the blocks, soften the knees, walk your blocks back so that they're underneath your shoulders. Keep your left hand where it is. Take the right arm out to the side. Bend your right knee and take your right arm up. Breathe. Release. Keep your right hand where it is. Bend your left knee. Take your left arm up. And release. Take all your toes out. Bring the heels in. Sit back in those heels. Hands to knees. Look up and stand up. And roll your shoulders. Good. Your toes are out about 45 degrees. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, goddess pose. Whew. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, make sure you're sitting back in the pose so that the knees don't overshoot the feet too much. Good. Inhale. Exhale down. Last one. Inhale. Exhale. Hold. You knew I was going to say that, right? Hands to your thighs, everybody. Bring the shoulders up to your ears, kind of like a horse stance, right? Breathe. Now tuck that belly in. Breathe. Shrug those shoulders up. Pull the shoulders back. Drop the shoulders down. The elbows bend. The legs are giving you a little grief at the moment. And stand up straight. Nice job. Heel toe or step in. Take that out. Bring the blocks back to the front of your mat. and breathe. Find mountain pose. If you're comfortable, close the eyes. Please don't do that if you feel like you might tumble. And then notice how your body will naturally, normally, or habitually go. For me, my hips will tend to press forward. I've got to watch the back of my knees. So I'm going to spread the mat out between those 2 feet. Draw the shoulders back. Bring the head back in space. Find my breath. Open the eyes and stamp your right foot. Don't that's okay too, but press your right foot down. And then imagine somebody has this right arm and you're going to just take it up. Push down through the right foot without popping that knee back. Turn the palm up. Imagine down dog, right? The arm and the ear kind of line up. I'm not looking up, I'm not looking down, but I'm creating a line. I'm creating the space from hip to hand and from hip to foot. And let that go. Same thing, other side. Stamp down the left foot. Reach the other one up. Find that. Turn the palm up. Think down dog, right? A basic pose. We do it all the time. Keep the back of the knee soft and let go. Good. Last one here. Both arms up. Turn both palms up. Soften the shoulders. Breathe. Tone the belly. Soften the back of the knees. Get longer through both sides of your waist. Think down dog. And release. Whew. And roll that out. Shake it out, everybody. Back to the front of your mat. Inhale it up. Exhale it down. Hands can go to blocks or not, depends on your body. Soften the knees, step your right leg back. Find that beautiful alignment for you. Know that your right knee can go to the floor. Take your hands to the left knee, lift your torso. Inhale, reach up. Find that energy in both arms. Optional, just bend the knee, no tap. Just bend and then sit the whole body back over that hip. Breathe. Straighten the back knee. Exhale down. Move your blocks out of the way. Plant your hands best you can. Step back, downward facing dog. Play with your hands. Can you hold the beach ball between your elbows without scrunching your shoulders? What happens if you walk your feet a half of a footprint back? What's that feel like? Grip the tips of those fingers into your mat. Float to plank pose. Here we are again, right? What are the hands doing? Turn just one hand out a little and see what that feels like. Let me move this out of the way. Bring it back to neutral. Turn the other hand out a little bit. What's that feel like? What happened to the legs? Breathe. Bring that back. Everybody lower knees and find child's pose, hero pose, anything that feels good. Don't do child's pose if it hurts your knees, your hips, your ankles. Find another way. Notice your breath. If your head is really hanging here, maybe the hands go underneath your forehead, right? So that the neck isn't quite hanging so low. Maybe lengthen the front of the chest forward. Good, breathe. From here, we're going to be on our knees for just a second. If that's not going to be good for you, come on up, right? Come back to down dog. So we're in table pose. The belly tones in, but the chest can lift. Walk both hands forward. Find that beach ball between the elbows. Spread the fingers. Don't overspread the thumbs, by the way. We tend to take those thumbs to an L shape. It's a little too much. tip in through those fingers. Here we are. Let's see if we can lengthen, push the hands away to lengthen the arms, lengthen the torso. The head just comes between the arms. So don't drop the head to the ground. Stretch. Think down dog. No kidding, right? Press the hands into the mat. Find your breath. Release, hands back underneath your shoulders or slightly forward. Flip your toes under. Breathe. Step forward, right leg. Find that lunge. Take your hands to your knee, lift up. Whew. Breathe. Inhale, reach up. Hold the beach ball. Notice your breath. Take your hands to your heart. Optional, bend the back knee. That's just working the muscles a little bit more, lining that whole torso up over the hips. And breathe. Release, inhale. Exhale, hands down. Step forward. Shake those legs out, bend the knees. Inhale all the way up. Exhale to your heart. Good job, everybody. Shake it out. And just circle those wrists. Did a lot of yard work yesterday, and I am feeling those hands, those wrists. Whew, shake them out. And then find a solid mountain pose. And what happens in mountain pose? So some of you I know online in my class right now, lovely people just pop those knees back, right? And over time, it really can, not always, but can stress the knees, much like the elbows in dog, right? If you have a tendency, your body has a tendency to hyperextend, you'll go here too. So just be mindful of that. Find mountain pose. Imagine your whole torso getting long. Take your left, I am mirroring here, left hand to hip. Feel like a teapot at the moment. Take the right arm up. Imagine the line from your right foot to your right hand. Tone everything else. Try to find level, even though one's reaching and one isn't. Stamp down the left foot, peel the right foot, just see if you can lift the knee. And then from that right hip to those right fingertips, reach. From the left foot, stamp it down. Take the other arm up, balance work. Smile. Hold the beach ball. And let go. Shake it out. If you happen to be on the porch with me, these slats can really walk. So maybe you find a slat that's straight lined. Other side. Didn't just die on me. Breathe. Sorry, Siri's talking to me at the moment because I tapped something. All right. Oh. Right foot stamps down. Left arm reaches. Hand to hip. And just kind of notice, do the shoulders feel even? And I'm glad you did that, Celeste. Does the rib cage feel even, or did you start to slant one direction or the other? Stamp down the right foot, peel the left. Even if you're on big toe, it works. Take the leg up if you can. It doesn't have to be high. Re-stamp the right foot, engage the right glute. Find your still point. Reach with the left arm. Whew. Take the other arm up. Thanks, Mandy, for that reminder. Breathe. And release. How do we find balance when our balance is off? Find mountain pose. Take your right foot out to the side. Take your left arm out to the side. Whew. This is why I don't know my lefts and my rights. Like back, forth, back, forth. Now, I feel like, okay, what is this? Like staying alive, right? Okay, all these references, that's how old I am. Spread the fingers, don't lift the shoulder. Feel the toe engage the glute. Ooh, hand to hip. Belly tones in. One, you're here. Two, you're going to just lift. Off balance. What's happening with this foot? Remember when we were circling around the feet? Ooh, can you drop that inner left foot into the floor? And release. Shake that out. Find mountain pose. Hand to hip, other arm out. Tap the big toe. Remember, you can stay here. If you're challenging your balance today, maybe you lift and tap, right? Maybe you lift and drop, whatever it is. Now, in order to lift this, what's got to happen here? We got to bring it in, right? Bring it in. All right, when you're ready, just see if you can lift. And then notice the standing foot, outside, inside. Where is it? Are the toes gripping on for dear life? Yeah, mine are. Woo! Breathe and release. Start, shake out those hips. Got one more before we start moving again. Tree pose. Love tree pose for the simplicity and the challenge, right? We do it. Most classes will do tree pose, at least during the week. So stamp either foot. And just notice, even if you go side to side, what happens? Stamp that foot, squeeze that whole hip glute into the bone. Turn the other leg out and just see, where did I just go, right? When I turn the knee out, did I take the hip with it? Can I keep the hips forward? When and if you're ready, you're taking the foot where it makes sense for you, as long as your heel is not directly on your inside knee. Feel your hips, find your still point, level out the hips, squeeze the legs, hands come to heart, chest lifts, belly tones, arms up only if you want. Breathe, stamp the foot that is on the floor. Maybe the arms go up. Squeeze the belly, turn the palms forward. Maybe you turn the palms up. Breathe. And release. And shake that out. There was no smile on my face on that one. I was like focused. All right. Last one, everybody. Mountain pose. Stamp that foot. Turn the other one out and just notice, right? The biggest thing I see in tree pose is a person's attempt to get the knee out and the whole hip structure turns, and then the knee torques. There's all kinds of, right? Knee torques, the hip torques. Don't worry about the knee, worry about the hips. Forward hips. When you're ready, you take that foot where you want. It could be big toe. I love this version. It could be down, it could be above the knee, it could be up to the upper inner groin. Woo. Breathe. Take your hands to your heart. Oops. Don't follow me, Mandy. Breathe. Maybe the hands come up. I've got some left side gravity going on. Do your thing. Breathe. Maybe the arms go overhead. Maybe the palms turn forward. Maybe the palms turn up. Squeeze the standing leg, standing hip. And release. If I ever did both sides perfectly, it'd be like, oh, right? All the lights would flash. Good job, everybody. Come on back to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, forward fold. Hold right here. Maybe you have your blocks. Soften the elbows and soften the knees and lengthen the torso. If you're comfortable, just walk the blocks forward as far as they'll go. As you soften your knees, your lower back gets some release as the inner thighs kind of roll back, right? The sit bones widen. Just find your breath. From here, if you can, just let those hands come to the floor. Soften the knees more, step back downward facing dog. Find the hands that work for you to the wrists, to the elbows, to the shoulders. One, you're here. You're just going to hold for a little while just to feel the endurance part of this pose when we hold for a while. Second option, soften the left knee, take that leg up. So now, how do we hold the arms, the shoulders, right? How do we engage that upper back, the latissimus dorsi, while having only one leg on the floor? How do we draw the weight back into that leg? Release that side. Switch. Find the arms. Notice if you start to lose the body engagement. Release. Woo. Bend the knees, everybody. Come on down. Have a seat. I know. This is how we usually start class. Woo. Now you're going to sit in the way that makes sense for you, right? Don't sit cross-legged if that hurts your knees. Roll your shoulders out. Take the arms out, cross your right under your left, and come to eagle arms or any variation. If this doesn't work, the arm closest to your body just comes across. Ooh, shake out the head. Ooh. And then take those elbows and circle. Down dog's a lot for upper body, especially when you do it over and over and over, right? Come back to center. Notice which elbow is closest. Release. Inhale all the way up. Exhale out. Switch sides, bringing your right under your left. I think. Soften the shoulders. Shake out the head. Just go slow. Where we carry our tension. Circle. Circle the other way. Come back to center, release, inhale up. Exhale, left hand down, right arm up. Ooh, press down through that right side hip. And take it up. Exhale the other side. Relax your jaw. Inhale up. Take both hands center, depending on the way you are sitting. I know several of you are sitting in various variations. Start to walk the hands forward. Come to the place that makes sense for you. Try to release the shoulders away from the ears. Now, some of you are going to be pretty much upright. I know some of you on screen have the legs straight. Some of you can walk those hands out and fold down over your legs. Find your breath, pressing the hips back as the arms reach forward. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Good, just one more here. Inhale. And exhale. And then walk those hands forward. Well done, everybody. We're going to come down to the floor. Have a strap nearby. If you would love to put a very small pillow or a blanket under your head, go ahead. You know what? We're going to do bridge pose, so maybe not quite yet. I don't love things under your head when we're doing bridge. So come on down, but do have your strap nearby. Your feet are on the floor. Whew. Bring your right knee to your chest. Take the hands behind your right thigh and just extend the leg up. And then straighten your left leg. And breathe. Bring the right knee back to your chest. Just hold it there. So the focus here is on the left front thigh, right? Instead of worrying about the right hamstring and the leg being straight, see if you can smooth out the front of the left thigh. And release, switch sides. So stamp the right foot, take the left foot up, right where we were on the other side. Draw the shoulders to the floor, straighten the right leg, hold. And then bend the left knee, bringing that left knee closer into chest, smoothing out the right front thigh. Good, release both feet to the floor. As you press both feet into the floor. So now bridge is another one of those for my knee challenged folks, right? If your knees hurt, walk the feet out. It actually makes bridge harder. The other option is to go into the heels of the feet and keep the toes lifted. So drawing the shoulders down, the back of the neck is long. Elbows to shoulders on the floor, your fingertips are just pointing up to the ceiling like robot arms. And then lengthen your tailbone as if you're going to tuck your belly in and lift your hips. Ooh. Pressing the shoulder to elbow to the floor, making sure your neck and head feel really comfortable. And breathe. As we press up the hips, I want you to lengthen the tailbone as if you could curl that tailbone all the way to the back thighs. I know that's a weird image, but right? So we're really lengthening through the low back, through the tailbone. Feel the legs. Whew. Press the mat away from each foot. So spread that mat between the feet and then pull the heels back a little bit. Whew. And breathe. Release the arms so that the palms are just face down. Pressing the full arm into the floor, lifting your hips. And lower all the way down. Oh, bring your knees to your chest. Squeeze in and rock side to side. Roll over to one side and then come on to your belly. As I realize how much we work the front body, so I decided I need to stretch the front body. Come into Sphinx pose, everyone. Now a blanket under your hips if that's appropriate, just to soften whatever surface you're on. Your elbows are underneath your shoulders and they're shoulder width apart. Press into your forearms. Draw the low belly back. Lengthen up through the chest. Imagine pushing the arms away from you, right? Normally in class, I'll hear teachers say, pull the elbows in. I tend to find that tweaks my low back a little bit. So instead, I'm going to push out and lift and keep the lower back longer for me. And breathe. So one, you're here. Two, you're going to just sway. Just sway. Come back to center. Walk both elbows to the right. Relax your face. Maybe you smile. You realize class is heading toward the end zone. Good. So as elbows are to the right, the left hip point stays down, or the left side of the pubic bone stays down. And we're stretching left side belly. Release, come back to the middle. For some of you, you'll feel this is a deep stretch. For others, not so much. And I find one side more so than the other. So switching elbows to the left. Feel the right side of your belly stretch. Good. Come on back to center. Lower down. Bend one knee. Optional here. One, you're just going to bend that knee, hang out. That's good. Or two, you're going to come up on the left elbow, reach back right hand to right foot, and bring that heel to your glute, stretching out the quad. You can lower down too. You don't have to stay lifted. Good. Release that side. Bend the left knee. Both hip points stay on the floor. Reach back with left arm. Stretch. Release. Last one here. Hands under shoulders. But I'm going to invite you to go wide, right? Typically, cobra pose, they tell you to put hands under shoulders, squeeze the elbows in. I'm going to say go wide here. Plant that pubic bone, right? Really lengthen down, draw the shoulders back, and lift up. Keep the elbows soft. Keep the pubic bone on the floor. And breathe. And stretch the front belly. Stretch open through the chest, drawing the shoulders down. And lower. That's nice. Good. Now, if you want to slide that blanket and put it under your head, we're going to turn back over. So roll to one side, roll onto your back, keep your knees bent. Pause here for a moment. I want you to feel your back. Take your feet to the edges of your yoga mat and lower the knees toward the right. So just a little scissor here. Again, feeling the left side belly stretch. Adjust the feet if you feel, if it feels a little funky in the knees, just bring the feet closer. Deep breath in. As you exhale, the left side lower ribs soften down. Good, really soften here. Engage your belly. Lift one knee and then the other. Feet are at the edges of your mat. Maybe they're in a little more narrow. Both knees go over to the left. Softening, stretching, breathing. Maybe finding the awareness that our practice brings to us, whether physical or mental or emotional. Relax your jaw. Just let the breath carry this pose. Good, nice tone to the belly. Lift the knees. Take the soles of the feet together and allow the knees to go out to your sides. So just the supine Baddha Konasana here, supine butterfly, and maybe just rock the hips side to side and the knees side to side. Just let it rock. Be easy, no force, no pressure. The next time your right knee is rocked over to the right, let it stay. Both knees are staying wide, but the right knee is headed toward or on the ground. And then release, going to the other side. The left knee stays down, the right knee just moves away at wherever it can. And release, coming back to center. Both knees come together, feet separate, grab your strap. Take the strap around the right foot, take the right leg up to the ceiling. Straighten the left leg. Watch for any hyperextension behind your right knee. And imagine smoothing out your pants on the right or on the left side. So that thigh goes toward the ground. Soften the upper body, don't make it hard. Feel your whole body sink down to your mat. And then bend your left knee, let the left foot come to the floor. Bring the right foot to figure four. So right ankle to left knee, both knees come to chest. You can take the strap off. And once again, just rock side to side, just a little bit, right? Maybe even circle here. I love that circle because you can massage through the sacrum and that inner line of the glute muscles. Good. Take that back to center, everybody. Release your left foot to the floor and your right foot. Left knee to chest. Take the strap over your left foot. Left leg goes up to the ceiling. Once you're there, maybe you straighten the right leg to the floor. Soften everything else. Nice deep breath. Can you just be here in this pose, this stretch? And then bend the right knee. Take the left ankle to the right knee. You can release your strap. Coming into figure four on this side. And again, maybe swaying side to side or doing circles. Maybe circle the other way if you're doing circles. And come back to center. Right foot to the floor, left knee to chest, straighten the right leg. And then just switch sides, right knee in, left leg straight. Release the right leg. Let's find Shavasana finally. Both feet out to the edges of your mat. Your shoulders are down. Your hands are wherever they feel most comfortable. And in Shavasana, we allow this yoga practice to seep in to the bones, the muscles, the memory. We let go of everything but the breath. As you sink deeper in Shavasana, feel how the entire body is connected. Soften down even more. For those of you who are ready, start to wiggle your toes. Maybe bend the knees and let your feet come to the floor. And feel that grounding, the way we started class with our feet on the floor. As you're ready, bring the knees to your chest. Squeeze them in, rock side to side. Allow the knees to roll over to one side. Curl all the way over to fetal pose. And from fetal pose, pressing all the way up. Coming back to a seat. Inhale, take the arms up. Exhale to your heart. Bow to your own inner wisdom and strength, to your own love and compassion. Spread that with the world. Namaste. Namaste, everybody. Thank you all for coming to class.